Behind the cape. Talk to me about Westside Gunn.
They got Westside Gunn fucked up. So we've been talking a lot of WWE this year. I got back into it with my son. We've been watching a lot of things going on. You know, TKO's taking over, ESPN deal, um,
Netflix deal.
Netflix deal. A lot of changes coming with
Vince
WWE.
McMahon documentaries.
Vince McMahon pooping on people and asking them to have sex with Brock Lesnar, allegedly,
Yo.
allegedly, allegedly. But yeah, all that stuff. So a lot of craziness happening with WWE this year. But tried my best to try to enjoy the product. You know, I've voiced some of my complaints about how they treat their black superstars, their black talent.
Hmm.
Wasn't in love with how Bianca Belair's run went before she got injured at Elimination Chamber earlier this year, or WrestleMania, I think it was. I wasn't fond of how Jade Cargill's run was going. Just just typical mass media stuff. Black people not necessarily in the best light. But when you are a black fan and you have a longing to promote that product, to bring people from your community into WWE, especially at times when it's not as popular, as maybe seen as a more of a nerdy product or whatever. I think that that's important because it helps, especially for the company, right?
Hmm.
You'll never grow in a community where you're deemed uncool unless somebody cool taps you and legitimizes you, right?
Like literally how everything is becoming cool between comic books and anime because black people are approving of it now.
Don't tell them nothing. Don't tell them nothing. But anyways, Westside Gunn was one of those catalysts for WWE, right? Big time fan, raps about WWE content a lot, puts it in his music. Had an album cover that featured a wrestler on it. Has worked with both companies. Well, I don't know if he's really worked with WWE, and that's probably the crux of what's going on here. But has worked with AEW. They kicked him out of Monday Night Raw in his home state on Monday for no apparent reason. And the reason why they're doing that, you're absolutely right, Jason Wilson. The prices are high as hell. I actually tried to take my son or I was going to try and take him to a match. They were here in Columbus maybe 2 months ago. You would have paid $150 to be in the nosebleeds that night if we'd have went. And
Crazy.
that's kind of a ticket. That's kind of where they're at these days. You can get up tens of thousands of dollars if you're sitting on the floor at a PLE. They're treating these things like floor seats at the NBA nowadays. But anyways, Westside Gunn got kicked out, and the belief or the alleged reason is because they also served him a cease and desist letter on all of his WWE references that he made in his catalog so far. It's one thing to be very sketchy with the talent. It's one thing for this is a white-owned family company, or at least that's how it started.
Hmm.
And be damned if they don't behave like that, right? But damn, even the niggas with money can't get by over there. Can't get no respect. Now, what was interesting to me about this, Westside Gunn is a fan, right? Westside Gunn promotes WWE content when he's not even asked on of his own volition because he's ingrained into the culture. Well, people like Travis Scott, who don't give a shit about WWE, who came in just to be at WrestleMania and then to bounce and never come the fuck back, they kiss his ass. They kiss his ass.
Facts.
For a person who has grown up watching the product, knows wrestling, right? And knows enough to promote it in a way that's going to keep it popular for people that look like him. Okay, yeah, fuck you. It's fuck you. All right. Here is Westside Gunn's response he posted on IG, I believe. For years, I mean, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing the brand. I've loved since I could remember. I sat front row at every big show, literally all good times. It brought my life to the point where I started making music, incorporated it Everything like Wu-Tang did karate. I made people who hated the product watch it again. I made it look cool. When at a time when people thought it was nerdy, I've watched the same company sit countless of people next to me who's not even fans for real and act like I don't exist. I threatened to take everything out of my music, which I only did to pay homage, or my whole catalog would be demolished. And everybody knows how hard I worked coming from Buffalo for me to that that threat for just supporting and being a real fan hurted me. I even just went viral for spending 50K on sweets. On my soul, I've only been respectful. I've tried having conversations with one individual. We can all take guesses on who that individual is because he's causing all of the unnecessary cases. And to be honest, he hates seeing a young black successful entrepreneur that can afford those seats and have to watch those chains dance across the screen to point. Monday Night Raw starts at 8 p.m. I was kicked out at 8:03 after spending 5K for seats plus travel, hotel, etc. in my own city for absolutely nothing.
Okay. So when we talked about this earlier, you mentioned that same person, and I guessed it almost immediately. And there's one reason why. It's because this exact same thing happened with Wale.
They kicked
All
him
of this
out.
basically, I don't know if he got kicked out, but him and said person, uh, I think said person was on a mixtape of Wale's, if I remember correctly. Like literally talking about the WWE and getting tickets for him and all this stuff. Like it's a skit on the mixtape.
Gotcha.
And then literally they had a spat at some point, like their relationship.
Over that. They all had what else? Remember we reported on Metro redoing the entrances for Bianca Belair and Seth Rollins and Jacob Fatu. None of them songs ever changed. I don't know
Not
if there was a
surprised.
probably getting them cleared, if they changed their mind, if Metro got busy. I don't know what the fuck happened with. None of those entrances ever got changed.
The only thing I can think of there, the only I guess slight amount of bail is the case, but he's been cleared of the case since. So
I mean, that would stop you from producing music that no one would really know that your name is on, for real?
I think Vince McMahon has some similar cases, and
I was about
maybe
to say, hey, quit playing. Doo-doo King over there.
yeah.
WWE is running very thin with me. They're
Sure.
walking on thin ice. I did
For
not
sure.
care for this at all. I hate this actually.
Seems like they're a little money hungry at the moment, and
Mm.
the money also does seem to be coming in quite a bit.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Like they've been that show that Westside Gunn got kicked out of was their 4-year record low in attendance.
That's crazy.
4-year record low in attendance. Tony Khan, the CEO of TKO, is
Hmm.
now going around telling everybody that, oh well, WWE needs to get away from all these PLEs that Vince McMahon made. I'm sorry, what? He said that's why Triple H and company came up with WrestlePalooza. I know you're not into wrestling enough to remember. WrestlePalooza was an ECW pay-per-view.
Mm.
So not only is he somehow saying that they need to create more PLEs, even though we have like 1 to maybe 2 a month now, and there used to be like 5 all year.
Right.
He's also claiming that they invented WrestlePalooza, which is verifiably untrue. It's just a fucking lie. but these people are like they're I don't understand it, bro. Like you got wrestling, which is a middle America, middle tax bracket type of entertainment. It is not for the affluent. It is
Hmm.
not for the hoity-toity
It's not Act One.
bourgeoisie of society. Yeah, they don't want to see that shit. Okay, they would much rather go spend $300 on raw chopped up hamburger that they call tartar than to go sit down and watch wrestling. Okay, they much rather go hear old overweight women belt at the top of their lungs until they go to sleep than to go
Yeah.
sit down and watch wrestling. Okay, it's just not their crowd. but you're
Facts.
charging those prices. You got a Boone's Farm crowd,
Hmm.
and you trying to sell 1918 Cabernet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to sell goddamn the what's the blue bottle top shelf?
The tequila.
Yeah,
Clase
y'all trying to
Azul.
sell
Clase
that, and
Azul.
these folks showed up for Old Irish. You doing it wrong. They can't afford it.
Right.
Can't afford it, and they just keep pushing farther and further and further and further. It's no different than what the streaming services are doing right now, pushing up their prices month over month over month. It's I don't know how far they think they can push. Whatever
Yeah, I'm
the
saying.
algorithm told y'all could get out of our pockets, I promise you they were wrong. It was wrong.
Yeah. Facts, especially when a rapper who is trying to spend 5 racks on a seat is right there and you're kicking them out. Doesn't even make sense.
It don't like we are we trying to make the money for real? Is that what we're trying to do?
We're trying to make the money, but with a specific crowd who doesn't also care.
You've had your lowest attendance in 4 years tonight, and you're kicking celebrities out of their seats. Okay.
Makes
Hometown
sense.
celebrities, nonetheless.
Makes perfect
Genius.
sense.
Genius. TKO is genius.
All right. Jordan Peele. His cowboy documentary, his black cowboy documentary.
Let's pull it up and watch.
Bet.
You hear that?
Yep.
If there were no black cowboys, then America would not exist.
Ride on, King Jesus.
What? You want proof?
No man can deny me.
The black cowboy was intentionally removed from the story so that we can create the myth of the American white cowboy.
As soon as cowboy became a cool thing was exactly when they took that from us.
You know, white people really got some nerve.
Back.
When you say cowboy, I don't think a Lone Ranger.
The actual real Lone Ranger was a black man.
Land is everything. Land is freedom. Land is power.
It was just stolen. That's a heist.
What you don't want to
Shout out to Bun B and Trillberg.
Erase it.
All this right here, y'all gonna have to rewrite that, rewrite that.
Country music is black music. Has it been stolen? Has it been heisted? Is there anything black people have made that hasn't been heisted?
You rewrote the history. We are just going back and straightening the story out.
To reclaim what was stolen from us, we have to tell everyone.
Nice.
Dope. Fire. Is Rick Ross really an expert on?
I don't know why Rick Ross is in here. I don't know why Rick Ross is in here.
I mean, he did have the farm where he was like buying houses or whatever, but I don't think that. I don't think that makes him
growing
expert.
pears. and growing pears.
Shout out to all the pear.
Shout out to all the pear.
Yeah, no. Other than that, Bun B and everybody else talking about the truth that some of us know. Cowboys are black.
Young, rich, and black.
Even though you'll never be able to play Red Dead Redemption online and be a black cowboy.
No, you can be. I guess it's just ill-advised these days.
Yeah, sure. You won't have a good time. The MJ biopic.
Did you see the trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
I think everybody saw it. First of all, Jafar looks. The voice was crazy. The voice is definitely MJ. It does seem like, from what I've heard, he's been working at this for quite some time. So at least some of it shows. It's not perfect, but it's serviceable. But Miles Teller as that attorney looked atrocious. That was crazy. That was insane. But no, man, I like I said, I feel like it's serviceable. And then on top of that, it's getting almost Black Panther hype. It seems like people want to show up in their red leather jackets with all the zippers.
Oh, you can feel how excited people are for this movie. You can feel it. It's palpable for sure.
Yes.
It's going to be one of those cultural flashpoints for sure.
Facts. So
Absolutely.
no,
I'm
I'm
excited
definitely
for
ready
it.
for it.
I think more than the vocals, the aesthetics, man, the outfits, the
The
shot,
noses.
right? Like it is the noses. There there's a lot to lean on here, and I'm very very excited to see this movie. I think this movie is going to take us probably up into the controversy though, because since they had to cut so much out of it because of the
Mhm.
legal battles that's going on.
Yeah.
I would get started on number 2 as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? If I was me, man, I go ahead and get number 2 in the oven real quick because I think this is going to be a success for sure. We didn't
Facts.
even see a lot of the other supporting actors, bro. There was no Coleman Domingo in this trailer. There was no Nia Long. There was Miles Teller or Michael Jackson. That was it. That was it. That was it. And I feel like it got the adequate amount of buzz, man. When they showed him standing up there receiving his Grammys with the black, gold, and white little suit thing on, when they caught him turning around on the Thriller, everything looked
Yeah.
1-to-1. You couldn't have
Facts.
told me that wasn't just a clip from Thriller when they were doing
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, man,
Yeah.
I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm hype.
Same here. Same here. Now, unfortunately, Paris had some things to say about it.
Oh yeah, let's cue up Michael's illegitimate white child.
You guys that are not like insanely familiar with the dynamic between me and like my dad's fandom, and like why would you be? So I guess like when the actor that's in the movie did that article with Rolling Stone, and he was like, Paris is so helpful and like supportive of this movie, blah 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 blah, and she's been helping out on set. My response to that was like, yo, I've met this man twice. Once at a birthday party and once at the Amfar thing the other night. Both were like hella brief interactions. Like, I've met this man twice. Because I said this man, she's so rude. I can't believe the attitude from her. How could she say this man?
Okay, yeah, that's enough.
Before we actually talk about what we need to talk about in that case, she's got the Mary Kate and Ashley thing going with the bug eyes, the big ass forehead. I don't like it.
Looking very Anglo-Saxon, huh? Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't I just see you in Swarm? You didn't look like this.
Listen, man. I still to this day I don't understand what was going on with Michael when he decided to adopt these children. But I don't know. First of all, she was talking about Coleman Domingo and not about Jafar. I thought she was talking about Jafar at first, and now I'm about to be like, this man?
No, yeah, that's effectively your cousin.
But the fact that she don't realize it, she don't get it, she don't get why people hear that out of your mouth, and then they think I'm talking about Jafar. They think I'm talking about my cousin, because that's not in her mind. That's them over there. That's them over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm Miss Paris Jackson.
Right.
I don't. It always frustrates me to hear from them. I'm gonna be honest with you, both of them. It frustrates me to hear from both of them.
This is a problem.
Like Madonna,
because
she do look like Madonna.
She is what, 25, and Madonna is about to be 70. But she does look like Madonna. That's accurate. Just saying.
Prince turned out okay. Sure, I wish them the best in their Anglo-Saxon lives.
That's crazy. But yeah, no, she looks like what's that Pokemon? I don't know. The fact that I said what's that Pokemon should be enough. She looks like Pokemon?